Welcome to the Week 6 preview, where we got some good matchups as the league hits the midpoint. Let's look at the standings right now. Um, got Phoenix leading things off, number one in the league, despite the Gremlins being 5-0. The Checkers leading the South. I mean, it's just kind of messed up. Checkers leading the South, Blackers leading the North, but a lot of people would argue the Toros, Sea Dogs, and Dizzy Devils are better than those teams. Gold sitting at 4-1, and behind the 2-3 Dragonfish. So there's a lot of up in the airs right now. Interceptor sitting back at 12. They've had some um, impressive games. Pharaohs trying to get back into things. Scarlet Ember never out of it. So it kind of looks like it's a 13-team race right now. You know, the back of the pack really seems like they're not competitive, but you never know. They still got more than half a season to go, so those records could all flip. But let's get into the games at hand. Starting off, you got the Sea Dogs hosting the Checkers, two playoff teams from a year ago. Checkers is an improbable run into the playoffs where they got halted by the Toros. The Sea Dogs, everybody knows they got halted in the championship by the upstart Surprise Gold. And the Sea Dogs coming off of a pretty pathetic loss versus the Dizzy Devils last week, um, hoping to get things back going momentum-wise. And the Checkers, they're hoping momentum too. They lost two straight after starting 3-0 with a shutout win versus the Toros to cap that off. But they're hoping to get back. And the Sea Dogs, I mean, what a win that would be, traveling to London to get that win. But I think the Sea Dogs will win this one here, 5-2. Checkers just really aren't that talented. Diamonds at Silverbacks, pretty boring game. Silverback, they really could take this opportunity to finally win. Diamonds aren't that strong of a team when you slice it a different way, but if you look at their offense, they are a strong team, so it might work in their favor here. Silverbacks, pretty bad defense outside of Salazar, so um, they get drubbed a little bit. They won't be able to come back because, I mean, three of the 11 worst players in the league, index-wise, are on the Silverbacks. So it's really a two-man show there, and this is just not the kind of league for that. Captains at Gremlins, 0-5 versus 5-0. I just don't see the Captains having any magic this year, especially not this game. Gremlins are just way too stacked. It's not even fair. It's not fun, really. And the Captains aren't going to provide any fun. They don't have much of an offense. Durant's been anemic on defense. He can only intercept. All of his points this year have come from interceptions. He can't defend himself. It's kind of bizarre. But yeah, I think a 5-1 win's going to happen here for the Gremlins at home. Toros hosting the Dragonfish. Toros almost lost to the Dragonfish week 1, so Dragonfish are trying to do the upset on the road. Be interesting to see how the Toros play this. They've been called pedestrian, but they're still talented. Reed's having an amazing year, and I mean, you still got Lawrence, you still got McCarron, and they're still a very potent team that deserves to be in the top 8. Dragonfish, I don't know. I think it's going to catch up with them. They got veteran talent that's solid, but I don't think it's going to be able to keep up. Blackers at Margays. I mean, I see the Margays finally snapping out of it. I mean, because the only thing that's keeping the Margays from being an elite team is their performance. They have the pieces. Their players are just underperforming. Timor's underperforming. Pascal's underperforming. Jay Woods, who? Remember when he was a household name? So I think one of these days the Margars are going to snap out of it and go on like a 3 or 4 game win streak and just be back in the mix. And this will be a good opportunity here versus a Blackers team that might be overhyped and a little cocky at this point. Phoenix going to Las Vegas, just a little drive down there from Phoenix. Good opportunity for the Pharaohs to show their strength. Phoenix, they're such a two-player team that if the Pharaohs can get um, if they can get their three amigos firing with Simeon, Charlie, and Vega, there should be no problem defeating them, and it'll introduce a pretty interesting situation in the West with parity. 2-4-2 teams. Maybe the goal to go 5-1, maybe 4-2. So it'll be interesting to watch these three teams battle. If the Pharaohs can win here, if they lose this game, they'll just catapult Phoenix. Phoenix will probably win. I mean, they're 4-0 division, so they're a couple wins away from clinching the division title already. So it's one to watch for a big pivotal game here in the West. Skylarks at Cats should be an easy win for the Skylarks. Juliana's a little more established. Vasilyev's a little more established. So they should be able to roll over them, but just really never know with the Cats being able to trounce the Checkers like they did. I mean, they trounced them. It was 5-4, but the Checkers had to catch up. Matt Stevens, Jared, I mean, players that shouldn't be headlining were really giving it to them. And I think the Skylarks are too stout on defense and offense. I think it'll be a 5-2 victory for the Skylarks. Scarlet Ember at Reapers. Expect a close game here. I mean, I think Jason can have his moments. He's still chugging along. Sebastian Leche, he's improving every week. He's becoming a bona fide player in the league. And Hansen's still there. Scarlet Ember, I don't think they really have an identity. I mean, they've strung some wins out, but you know, they really have Jack. And, I mean, Narrow Streets is okay, but he's a shell of his former might. So I expect a close game. I think the Scarlet Ember will win it just because they're the Scarlet Ember. But, yeah. Dizzy Devils at Empire. Dizzy Devils really starting to flex on people, showing their strength. Raekwon and McFadden have just been firing together almost every game. They're so close to being 5-0. So, in the Empire, there's just a disconnect there. Maybe players are unhappy. Chemistry is supposed to be good, but they're just not putting games together. Hellstrom and Holcomb have not been the safe backcourt they need. But honestly, Thompson's not having the year he's supposed to be having. I mean, he hasn't been the hero for the team. And, Ramos is questioning his leadership. And, everything's just kind of in flux for that team right now. And the final game, Flex Gold going into the Interceptors home. Interceptors kind of overlooked. I mean, they're in the middle of the rankings, but they're solid. I mean, they got Kyle. They got one of the best dashers in the league at Guerrero, Limburg, and Ricky, good defenders. So they have a solid team around. Let's see how well they defend against. I mean, these two teams are kind of prototypical playoff teams. Strong lead dasher, good thrower, solid defenders, good middle backcourt guys. So it could be a toss-up game here. The Gold, I think they're on a mission to just prove to everybody that they are actually that good. So they might run the score up. I could see the Gold going 9-2 this year. They're really that solid. They were solid last year. They just couldn't finish. But this year, I think they're just kind of going an encore and just trying to beast out. They're doing it all without Kareem Hakeem. They don't even need him. That's how good they're playing. But I expect an 8-set 5-3 win from the Gold here. And we'll look forward to you in London with some action and have fun.